In 2019, Dave Matthews Band opened up their summer tour in Florida as well, playing their first show in Pensacola and their second show in Jacksonville, Florida. That Jacksonville show had 5 repeats from the Pensacola show. Over the 3 shows already in Florida, we have 5 total repeats across 3 shows. One thing is for certain with this band. Based on July 2023, the fall DMB 2023 summer tour, and what happened in Europe, they are repeating less songs, being more creative with the set list, and this could possibly be Dave's best job of giving fans that like deep cuts and the hits a combination of sets that makes everyone leaving the shows happy. The DMB post-show stream starts now. What up? It's your boy ConcertViz34, and I'm here to mansplain the weather. I don't have any actual degrees or certifications, but we're looking here at what West Palm Beach looked like as the boys took the stage a little before 8 p.m. tonight. Now we're going to zoom out and show you exactly what's happening. There's Lake Okeechobee, and you're going to see these rain bands come across as heavy as stone in a bone-chilling cold. And as we watch and we flash forward, 7:45, 8 o'clock, and look, it is raining down on South Florida. These bands are gonna come across Westlake, and this is where we're gonna see. This is the future cast right here. Let's stop it. This is the future cast from 9:40 to 10:30 that we're gonna watch right now here. And again, we're seeing more rain expected to come all the way through 10:30 again, back when the show started. We're gonna slide forward. The good news is this will rule out any possibility of a Sledgehammer or You and Me, along with another song that we won't name here. And as we see right there, that's West Palm Beach. Who turned on by you, honey? Did you turn on by? What? Oh, okay, I need to speak to the producer. I don't know why Bayou is playing right now. This is not acceptable, but stay tuned for more coverage of this storm with your boy ConcertViz34, mansplaining the weather.
It's your boy ConcertViz34 back at home.
What up? It's your boy ConcertViz34.
Yep, so your boy ConcertViz34 coming to you here.
What up? It's your boy ConcertViz34. Aria. Okay, so this is Aria, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews Band.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28, 1998, and if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20-something years. Tonight,
I always tell people, like, compare DMB to now to when I first started. And I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. Like, I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that 03 to 06 was like the end of the prime. 07, 08 was like, you know, we're at the very end. And then when Roy passed.
But Dave really, this is the thing. Dave has put, Rashawn has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play. South Florida, what up? Panthers, Rangers tomorrow in Broward County. Shout out Miami. Shout out Fort Lauderdale. Shout out Key West. Shout out Homestead. Shout out Daniel Danger with this poster. He don't miss. Pompano Beach, what up? West Palm Beach, what up? Boca, what up? Liberty City, what up? Brickell, how y'all doing down there? Miami Beach. Bridget, shout out to everyone out there. Bridget and Lakahachi. Parkland, what up? Sunrise, what up? All the crazy drivers on I-95 driving like Fast and the Furious. What up? If you in the express lanes going 90 on 95, shout out. Shout out to Brightline. What up? What up? It's your boy Conserviz34, and one of my favorite places to go at the beginning of the year is South Florida, because you know it will always be warm. It's never, there's no snow at all that's been recorded since modern weather technology has been available. Record keeping through from the 1800s forward. It's always warm. And I think the band has found something. Having these Florida shows in May, it's still hot. We still got a storm tonight that impacted the show. But when the sun goes down, the humidity is less than when you're here in July or when you're here in August, which traditionally are 2 months that these shows have mostly taken place in. What's special about tonight, even with the delay, what's special about D&B playing West Palm Beach Labor Day weekend is the fact that in 2022, this band decided to try to switch things up and make West Palm Beach a destination weekend for Memorial Day weekend for fans to know they have Monday off and come down to see this band. And in 2022, due to a member in the band's traveling crew getting COVID, Dave, they didn't say that, but it was Dave. They actually had to postpone those shows. Many fans were out money because literally as the earliest fans were arriving or getting ready to get there in the afternoon, they found out the show had been postponed. It was tough all across the board. We talked to fans. If you go back in my archives of live streams, we did talk to fans that day, and we're going to try to get Mark on. Mark was on last night talking about night one because he showed up as well. And we take a look at that time frame, that freeze frame in time of 2022, just being a tough thing because they were finally moving these to May from the July, August type of flow they had, and boom, postponed. And they had to end up playing them later in the summer when it's extremely hot. But this weekend, even with a storm stopping music from 8:55 Eastern to 10:05 Eastern approximately, this was a very productive weekend, and this provided necessary energy early in the tour. One of the biggest things about the tour last year, they had a new album. They were trying to figure out how to showcase this new album and mix in the new songs in the set list. But there wasn't a big destination 2-night stand. Yes, you had Charleston and you had some other 2-night stands, Wilmington, North Carolina. But in the South, there is no better 2-night stand than West Palm Beach, Florida. We saw it last year, and this year we're getting it earlier, and this year it has injected energy and hope for all fans to have that belief that this band is really going to not just bring it, because they bring it every night. They pour their heart and their soul into every show, but they're going to give us set lists that please a larger faction of fans. The Black Keys canceled their recent tour they were going to do in North America. The main reason that we can all give to this is they had bad ticket sales. They had bad ticket sales because their tickets are overpriced based on the product that and the demand of the market. And what DMB is doing, showcasing these two shows in West Palm Beach, they are giving reasons for fans to consider buying a ticket to a future show, not only in this month, but this entire tour. Things are tough all across America. Things are more expensive. People can't travel like they used to. People have other priorities that take precedent. So asking fans to go to more than one show, as has been the tradition, is a harder ask for a lot of fans of acts like DMB or even Dead and Company, which are struggling with sales at the Sphere. But when you play sets like this, when you have variety, when you feed everyone from those who love the hits to those who love the deep cuts to those who don't care if the band plays the ABCs, you are going to see an increase in sales. You're going to see people buy tickets. I've talked to people online and offline who literally, because of SPAC Night 1 last year in July, bought a ticket to SPAC Night 2 or a future show, who this year were going to just hold off on this tour, saying, listen, the prices have gone up. I don't know if it's worth it. I'd rather spend my money elsewhere. They're now considering going to a show in an upcoming city. So if management is watching, if the band is watching, again, I always respect whatever they want to play, they can play. Just understand that from the fan base, there is a more likely chance people are going to buy some of these seats that are still available, that are going to get a spot on the lawn based on this type of set listing that David John Matthews is doing. I also want to just, I want to credit Mark Madera as well, because he talked to me last night and he's seen this band since the early to mid 90s. He saw this band blow up from small colleges and frat parties to where it is now. And he said, you know what? This may be controversial, but Dave Matthews finally realized how to write a set list to please both casual fans and diehard fans. And I sat with that this morning and throughout the day. And one thing that we can really say is when this band first came out, there really weren't that many bad songs. So even though you could say, well, oh, I love that show, I love that show, they didn't really have that many so-so songs, or songs that were just a little bit below the excellence that Dave had in those big 3 albums and some of the unreleased stuff. But as time went on, in my opinion, there were albums that, had some songs that, okay, they're just not on that level. There's still a lot of talent and work was put into it, but it's not as good. And as time has gone on, a lot of the sets have been hampered energy-wise and just overall because certain songs just are overplayed that maybe they don't engage or motivate people to see more shows. But Dave has found a formula to put in these deep cut songs, put in these songs that fans have been really hoping to see, or even if they've seen them a bunch of times in a previous era, would love to continue to see them. And you're seeing more songs like Dreaming Tree being played. You're seeing a show where you have a P&P and a Rapunzel that are sandwiching this entire show together, just like Fish and when I see Humphreys McGee and other bands do, right? They'll have a Mike's Weekapog sandwich, right? Sometimes hydrogen's in there. Sometimes there is no hydrogen. They'll do certain things, but sandwiching in P&P Rapunzel sandwich with so many great things packed in there is a positive thing. So it is a great thing to see this type of show The other thing I said in the opening is we're seeing more setlist variety. There were only 2 songs that were played in Tampa played tonight in West Palm Beach, night 2. There were 5 songs that have been played more than once, and that is it. Only 5. Where we look at 2019, there were 5 repeats the second night in. Now, yes, they start out with a 2-night stand, but even to go to Tampa and then go to West Palm Beach, I would expect more than 5 songs overall to be repeated. But this band has just found a way. Hey, you know, we're only going to repeat a couple songs per show. And there would have been more if they had a full set. There would have definitely been more. What I want to do now is I want to reach out to some of my buddies some of them are on the road. Some of them are at hotels. We're going to reach out to them, and then we're going to see some videos. Shout out to Jen. She sent me a video. Renee's going to figure out getting me a video as well. And we love her and Darin and then everyone else in that crew that is coming in. They got kicked out. The venue was kicking people out because it's so late. They just, hey, nah, y'all got to, like, Tampa kicked us out pretty quick in general. But I think West Palm, because this was a rain delay, these hard workers want to go home and clean up and they want to unload. So I get them telling people just to head home. I'm going to reach out to Kenny, who is en route back home to Daytona Beach, originally from Virginia Beach. So he is a longtime DMB fan. Let's see if we can get Kenny on the line. Kenny, how you doing?
What's up, buddy? Just been taking this 95 north back to Daytona to the homeland. So I got to say, my head's in the clouds heading back. So it's an amazing show, man.
I'll say this: 95 in Central and South Florida is one of the craziest stretches of highway I've ever driven on. It is like the Fast and the Furious meets NASCAR.
Unlike last year when I came down for both nights, I literally drove through a monsoon last year. This year was pretty smooth sailing, and it's wide open right now. So hope I'm getting back before 2 o'clock. That's my goal, but who knows?
Yeah, hopefully. And it is good. Yeah, it is nighttime, so it's a little better. During the day, it is crazier. What'd you think of this show tonight?
Yeah, well, I think a lot about it. You know, I was thinking to myself too, you know, because I only did night 2 this year. Last year I went to both, and I had 2-night hotel, and I came back, you know, Sunday instead of coming back. But if this would have been the band 2 years ago or more, and I saw the set list from last night, I may not be enticed to have gone because I just didn't think they'd be able to live up to what we got first night. But after seeing July last year and seeing both West Palm shows and what they've done pretty much ever since July, even the Europe tour was amazing. I had no doubt they're going to put on a banger. I didn't know it to what level, but I had no hesitation to come up and back the same day and take the time to do it because I knew it would be a special show. I didn't think it may be this level, but I knew it wouldn't disappoint. So
that's a great point because we've seen 2-night stands where one night has a show that longtime fans who are searching and hoping for certain deep cuts, the next night is a commercial. It's like it's live on MTV and they can't play deep cuts. So this is you're absolutely right. Since July of 2023, you can really have that confidence to buy. We were just talking about that in the opening. As far as ticket sales, you will see fans buy tickets for SPAC or Deer Creek or Alpine Night 2 on the lawn. They don't care. They just want to be in there to see the momentum continue. What did you think about the way the band sounded on stage and the way they just songs aside, how they sounded tonight experiencing this show?
Well, like you said in the post show yesterday, obviously I was at Tampa. Kind of unfortunate we didn't get to meet up, but I know traffic was a nightmare. They had that graduation, but after thinking about it, I was in the pit for Tampa, and the sound wasn't nearly as loud as it was in West Palm Beach. You know, they have more residential areas near Tampa, and there's a believe you said the Ordinance, or John said the Ordinance, but that was a lot. I thought it was great. I was actually in the second level of the seats. I got a great deal overnight on StubHub for a second tier seat, in the pavilion. So I was off to the side of the stage, but I thought it sounded great. And I was sitting next to some people that were pretty diehard fans too. The couple that go to their home venues, Deer Creek, and it was the girl's 40th birthday, so they flew out, made a weekend at West Palm, and went to both shows. And it was a really good, diverse set, and also the people I got to meet were amazing too. Ever since going to West Palm for the first time last year, it really is a great place to see a show. I'm from Virginia. I've seen all the venues there and around it, but I really love that West Palm's my home venue now because, so far it hasn't disappointed me a bit, but I think the sound was loud and it was crisp. Somebody told me at Tampa that the sound's terrible there anyway, even regardless of the level of the sound, that it just doesn't travel well. I don't know. I think you were in the seats. So you might be able to tell me better, but I thought it was a much better show, sound wise at West Palm for sure.
Yeah. The sound did not travel as well. Obviously it was still lower decibel. Thankfully the fans, I was behind the boxes in the mid-level blue, like there's 2 rows of regular commoner seats in the mid-level center. And I was able to hear because so many respectful fans, or maybe even people that have businesses that just like to see music, they were listening, they were taking it in, but they weren't talking. Let's talk about this set break. What was going through your mind when the storms come in, the band's off stage, set lists are removed from the stage? What was going through your mind then? Yeah,
I started seeing the lightning because I'm all the way off to the side of the stage, right next to the open area. The last 2 seats from where the seats end, so I'm all the way on the side, and I started seeing the lightning and things like that. I'm just in these playing "You Might Die Trying." I'm just wondering, well, I guess they don't do rain delays here. I literally was thinking that, man. I guess they don't do weather delays here. It's great. And then, sure enough, after that song, the lights came up and he told him, we have to come off stage. But tonight was number 45 for me. Seen them since the 90s. The only other show I've ever had like this was Bristow, and I believe 2019. There was a weather delay. And I was really, at first I was a little anxious because, it was only like 7-8 songs in. And I was really, in the way the show was going, I really felt that we could be denied an absolute banger, and I, drove 3 hours each way and, paid good money for a ticket. I obviously wanted to see it through. But as the storm cleared through and more people started returning to the amphitheater, because people on the lawn, apparently, I had friends up in the lawn, literally had to leave the lawn and go back to their vehicles and get shelter. And I was just wondering if, how they were going to find out if the show's going back on, and obviously, I guess, social media. But I was really concerned that we were going to get 7-8 songs. That was going to be a wrap. Kind of like what happened at Deer Creek last year, I think, at night 2. I think they just packed up all the hits, all the good stuff into 14, 15 songs. And I was just praying that wouldn't be the case. And then the weather alerts that were on the screens went off, kind of like when the green flag goes back in NASCAR, they're ready to roll again. That's going to be the last lap of caution. It was kind of like that there at the show.
Yeah, and I've seen with other bands, just on social media, they that same idea. They evacuate the lawn. They tell people to go to their cars. They then reset kind of the scanning at the gate so that the lawn seats, you can get back in, just because they understand the circumstances. And then people waiting on social media, like just refreshing their Facebook, their Twitter, their Instagram, to see if it'll be that green thumbs up or if it'll be the shows like Darin, hey, we're just going to cancel this thing there. Yeah. So very interesting. Now they come back, and obviously they don't come back right with the Last Stop or a Cry of Freedom. They come back with 2 songs they played a lot of last year. What was going through your mind as they go When the World Ends, So Damn Lucky, to start off that set too.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I was thinking that. Yeah, I couldn't see the guitars that well. I love being closer, so I could. And plus, I was at an angle, so I couldn't see the guitar so well. And I was, I thought it was a different guitar I was seeing. But, and then when the world end starts, and I'm like, this may be a tale of two shows here, So yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of World Ends. I loved it more when it came out because I saw it a lot in the early 2000s, like the year Every Day came out in 01. I liked it. I liked the song a lot more years ago. It's not one of my favorites, but people around me love it, and they, what are you going to do? Like I said, Dave didn't write the set list for us. So, and then So Damn Lucky, I haven't seen it a ton. I mean, me personally, so it was cool. But, sometimes we have to realize that, we're not going to get that. I'm going to write the set list. Again, I got to go with what's played. But, it definitely started off way different than the show started off with in the beginning,
Yeah, for sure. And so really looking at the set list here, in case you haven't seen it, the original set list, After You Might Die Trying, had Cry Freedom. Obviously, that was moved further down the set. And it did have When the World Ends. After that was Spaceman, So Damn Lucky, Ocean, The Butterfly, Crush, Sledgehammer, Grace, Last Stop. They had then encore was Solo Rapunzel. So they ended up removing Grace Is Gone. They ended up sliding down Cry Freedom. They ended up cutting Spaceman. And so really you got a couple songs cut, and this is what their plan was. It just happens to be that you have this apocalyptic song and then a song about being grateful that start off back to back. After that, let's walk through after you get those kind of two, all right, these are kind of what we saw last year songs. You then get Ocean and the Butterfly. We don't need to talk about that. Crush, we don't need to talk about that. Let's talk about the Last Stop after all of that. What was it like to get a full Last Stop?
Yeah, man, it's been a long, long time since I've got it. Because generally, and I may be wrong, but I don't feel like they ever play Last Stop anymore unless it is the last stop of the tour. I don't know when the last time they played that song during, this is the third show of the tour. So it was really unexpected. I saw the 12-string come out, and I think you probably know a little better than I do because I couldn't see it so well, but I saw it was 12-string. So somebody around me said, it's going to be Gray Street, but I thought it could be a possible Fish Tender, but which guitar does Last Stop use? Is it the one for Bartender or Big Eyed Fish?
So it's actually neither of those guitars. You have the standard tuned blacker-ish guitar. So I think it's Sunburst. I don't know the correct thing, but that's standard tuning. That's for Gray Street, Big Eyed Fish. You have the drop D guitar, which is for Bartender, but the Last Stop is a half step down.
Oh, okay.
So it's only a half step down. If you think about Green Day, When I Come Around, Weezer, Say It Ain't So, those are all a half step down. Stained Epiphany. So it's a half step down, but it also is drop D, I believe, is what that is. So it's a half step down. Let me just hold on. I'm gonna confirm that. It is a different guitar, but it is.
So is that the only guitar Dave uses for is that
yes.
song for Last Stop?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
So that's kind of the dead giveaway.
Yeah. Yeah, if I was closer, I might have been able to tell. I could see it was a 12-string because of the neck, but it's not drop D half step. It's a full half step down. So every string is tuned a half step on the down there fully, and so it's a dead giveaway that it's Last Stop based on the color. I picked up one thing, Marcus, before he went to Last Stop, after the 15, 16-minute Crush, which I told my neighbors who were having their anniversary actually, and they started hearing the bass solo and they're like, Crush. I'm like, oh great, here we go, killing some of that valuable time with Crush. That's how I felt about it. But then he made a speech about Gaza, and he said something to the effect of, "I don't think war is the only way to peace." And in my head, that lyrics went off, and I didn't think he had to play that, but it kind of was a prelim to Last Stop. He kind of gave a little bit of that away for people that know the lyrics. So they came out.
Yeah. And he's been kind of using this Last Stop as looking at just the various conflicts across the Middle East and Europe right now. The Last Stop has been something that he's referenced or seems to be inspired by. But hey, Kenny, thank you so much for coming on. We're going to let you get back to your drive, or obviously you've still been driving, but we appreciate your perspective.
Yeah.
And hopefully one of these days we'll be at the same show and there's not a graduation and a concert in Tampa that literally shuts down the last mile and a half for 90 minutes because they don't have any sort of traffic flow. And I literally was so upset that I could not see you and many others before that show. But safe travels back up to Daytona Beach.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later, man.
Yeah. Bye. All right, so that speaking of Crush, that was the first guitar Dave used with song he uses his drop D tuning 6-string with. Crush is a 6-string, uses a 6-string guitar where the top string is tuned down to D, allowing Dave to put his finger across the fretboard in the top 3 strings and slide it across easier for chord construction. So that was the first one that we had. Drop D, Don't Drink the Water is another song. And there's a couple other ones that use drop D 6-string. And then you have Bartender uses the 12-string. Kill the King 11 says, yeah, it used to be a Taylor. I got a little taste of the Taylor 12 stringers because in 2012, actually my first show was 12 years ago. This night of the show, 5/25/12, so 12 years ago. And so with that, I was able to see songs for the 2012, 2013, where Dave had those Taylor 12 strings, and then eventually Dave's transitioned over to Rock Bridges. I believe the Rock Bridges have more value with Dave and Tim. They're able to cut through. They don't cut through as well with the full band, but they do. You get more of a better sound with Dave and Tim. Overall, I think the Taylors were the best ones that, and again, I was not at shows during the era where Dave had Martins and Taylors and Chet Atkins, Gibsons, and even stuff before that. He had some Ovations. But I do think that the Taylor guitars were the best ones for Dave Matthews Band, specifically what they play, how they play, even in across the eras. The Taylor is the best one, and it has the best sound for the full band experience. But hey, Dave's great friends with Brian Calhoun. They've done a little better as far as the sound, the audio engineers, the people mixing the sound to turn Dave up in some instances. Other instances, I can hardly hear Dave, but that's more of a live sound thing, and it is what it is. What we're going to do now is I'm going to reach out to a couple other people if I can get them on. All right, John's not going to be. All right, let me just say, no worries. I can. All right, so let me see. I'm going to see if Mark is ready. And in the meantime, Renee did just send me a video with Darin. So we'll play Renee and Darin. We'll play Jen as well. So we'll be able to hear from them. They just have some quick videos. And if you guys want to send me videos via Instagram, Twitter, /X or Facebook, it can be just a quick 30-second video, a 1-minute video. I can just easily play it on the stream. The main thing that I hope for with these post-show streams is to get as much perspective as possible. I can talk here all day, but there's nothing like getting your perspective, and I've tried to focus this show to get your perspective. Everyone knows what I like and I don't like. So if you guys have content, can send me a 30-second video, and have that ability. It just helps to get more perspective. As I always say, I don't believe in echo chambers. I believe in hearing different perspectives from people, and then being able to showcase that. All right, so we got the Renee video. So let's go ahead. Night 2, West Palm Beach. All right, so we're going to queue up some of these videos for you guys to hear. Let me see if Mark is available as well. Let's see. Mark and Alex Brandt out there from Nashville, Tennessee. We'll see if he can pull up, and we'll get to the poster as well. I just will say Daniel Danger does not miss. All right, so let's first, this is Jen Ryder, and I appreciate Jen. She is so kind, and I kind of met her through the DMB Fit Crew, and she pulled up to South Africa, that South Africa post-show stream, and gave us her perspective there. So we appreciate that. This is 2 minutes and 37 seconds, but we want to hear a little bit of Jen, what she thought of the show. Her first show was in UMass Amherst while she was in college. She shared a lot about that on the Space Between podcast. That's on YouTube and wherever you get podcasts. But she talked about she really was assigned. She didn't have class. Saw DMB in the 90s during that crash era. And she was the one who had to get the tickets. And after getting in line old school for the tickets at UMass Amherst, she then fell in love with the band and really became someone who went to a lot of different shows in the Northeast and beyond. And obviously she was in South Africa. Anyway, let's play Jen's thoughts on this past show that just ended just hours ago from West Palm Beach.
Hey, Marcus, Jen Ryder here. Just got back to our accommodations here in West Palm. Show, again, they're magnificent night, amazing. They never let you down, I don't think, in my opinion. Thoughts on the set list. I got 4 songs played that I've never ever heard before. See, Dreaming Tree, never heard live. Fool to Think, never heard live. Number 27, never heard live. And The Only Thing. So I've never had those songs ever. Thought maybe I had The Only Thing last year during the album tour year, but I guess I didn't. Gerwig opened a show of PNP when we thought Rapunzel was coming, and he tricked us. They went to Pig instead. That was epic. And then he closed the show out with Rapunzel, so we went full circle with that effort. The storm delay was an hour and 10 minutes or so. Mid-show, after song 9, they went into an hour delay. Never really poured, kind of skirted around us. So it was nice that we didn't get hit with the storm, but kind of stunk that they had to stop the show. He played until about 11:20, so they went extra to make up for it. Came back with When the World Ends after the hour break. Threw in some So Damn Lucky, Cry Freedom, a 17-minute Crush, which was epic. Buddy was just on fire tonight. He's really jamming it out there in the keys. Sean, unreal. He was unreal tonight. Yeah, great show all around. Dave has Sledgehammer in there, which we know he loves. He was throwing in the dance moves for that. Some great moves. I don't think I've seen some of those dance moves before on him. Yeah, overall, West Palm night 2, amazing. It's my third show of the tour. Tampa, West Palm night 1, West Palm night 2. So yeah, they really started off banging following the Europe run. So I'm glad to have caught some epic shows so far. So off for a few weeks, and I get back into that SPAC. So another round of shows to go later on in the summer, but for now, that's it. And yeah, good job, Dave and boys.
All right, so that was Jen, again from she's from Rhode Island, but she'll be back at SPAC, she said, so that's great. And that's interesting that she hasn't gotten Dreaming Tree, but again, she's been going, she's been part of the D&B. It's not like she just went to one show each year and dipped. Like, she's been to a lot of shows. So the fact that she's finally gotten Dreaming Tree is pretty awesome there, and just goes to show you how sometimes, hey, you miss a tour, you miss a run, and you don't get it even after going for years on years on years, and you get it back. And she was also, just to go back, she was a part of that community where, you know, you used to fans would send each other, you know, someone would send they would trade shows, right? And they would mail them out, right? That's even before my time, man. But so she's been a big part of the community and was a part of the online and the social parts that at the early ages of the internet with this band. And here she is in West Palm Beach, night 2, finally getting a Dreaming Tree. So that's great. And that's why people travel, because you literally never know what you're going to get. All right, next up, what we're going to do is, let me get Renee and Darin queued up. Oh, that is last night's Renee and Darin. Let's get tonight's. Let's see if we can find it. And thank you guys for joining the D&B Post Show stream. Yep, here's night 2, their night 2 reaction. And again, they had to move back to the hotel. The venue's like, hey, yo, we want to go home. We love y'all. Y'all don't have to leave, but you can't be here. Let's go ahead and hear from them. Renee and Darin are going to share their perspective, and let's go ahead and play.
Good evening, Marcus. I'm Darin. This is Renee. And tonight we are going to talk about the great show for West Palm Beach Night 2. I have to say, for starters, that out of all the 2-night sets, this may be one of the best overall 2-night sets that I can ever think of. So we started off with P&P, thinking that we were going to go to Rapunzel, but we got the fake into Pig, which Renee called for the opener. So huge kudos to her. I had called Fool in the Rain for opener. Did not get that first, but got it second. That was amazing. And then the highlight of the night for Renee came when
I got Dreaming Tree and completely lost it. As you know, I've been wanting this for a really long time. It was amazing. I mean, I knew as soon as, like the first 2-3 chords, like I knew it was coming. And then Darin pushed me up to the front and I got to see it, you know, kind of from the pit, which has been my dream, to see Dreaming Tree from the pit. And it was everything. So
there may have been a couple of tears shed. They were happy ones.
Just a few, yeah. It was amazing.
It was a great moment.
It was.
And then
awesome.
we followed that up with 27, which is obviously one of my favorites. And I had predicted for a couple of days that it might happen this weekend, so I was very happy that it did. And then we went to Only Thing, What Would You Say, Walk Around the Moon. So it kind of like took a little turn there for a minute. And then we hit the lightning break, which thought it might be the end of the show, but luckily it was about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes.
It was fun too. It was actually like people were sitting around, talking, hanging out. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, it made a nice little break in the show.
Yeah, it was good. It was
and
fun.
then they shuffled the order a little bit over what they were predicting, and we came back with When the World Ends, which is always a good kind of warm-up or opener, so I'm sure that's why they brought that back first. And then we had So Damn Lucky and Ocean of the Butterfly, Crush, Sledgehammer, Cry Freedom. I mean, it was great. Like, then we got Last Stop, and then Rapunzel was the end. So it was a phenomenal show, and
it really was.
I just was blown away at how good everything was. Energy was great. 2 really good crowds tonight. The pit was awesome because it was a very small pit, but it was not overcrowded at all. There was plenty of room to dance. Everybody was respectful, great attitude, good energy.
Yep.
To me,
that's perfectly
There's something about the South.
That would be Jess, but she doesn't want to be on camera, so.
It was the perfect weekend.
There she is.
There she is.
Say hi, Marcus.
Marcus.
So that's our little recap of the show. Thanks,
amazing.
man. Appreciate you.
All right. We'll see you soon.
Appreciate everything you do. Thank you.
Thanks, Marcus.
Yeah, so that was Jess. That's Connecticut Jess. There's like 50 million Jess. Obviously, is a popular name. But what's funny about this, and so Jess went live on Instagram. For some reason, the couch tour, I don't know if something happened. Like sometime, and again, technology can be finicky. Initially I was having trouble connecting to the couch tour. So I'm on Instagram trying to see people go live. So Jess goes live, and the song is about, Dreaming Tree is about to come on, and her daughter, you can obviously join Instagram lives. So her daughter joins the live, and she's at Boston Calling in Harvard Yard at the Harvard Athletic Fields. And so Dreaming Tree is starting, and her daughter is at Tyler Childers is playing at Boston Calling. So the Tyler Childers audio is overshadowing the D&B audio. So I'm like, what's going on? And then she finally like muted her daughter, and you could hear Dreaming Tree be played. So like it took like, as they were starting Dreaming Tree, I'm hearing Tyler Childers. I'm like, respectfully. Anyway, it all worked out. But thank you to the people who were live streaming. And I swapped over to another Jess, Massachusetts Jessica, and she had a nice view of Dreaming Tree. So I switched over to that one for the remainder of the song. But it's hard. And someone just mentioned, Super Beer Mike said, why not stream it? Like, as of right now, as far as live streams, there is nothing that has been set up as far as, hey, this day we're going to have a live stream. Obviously, they did the Volta thing as an appreciation for their fans. I would love to see, again, DMB embrace having live streams, because a night like tonight, even like, this is the greatest marketing tool for people to buy tickets. If someone buys a live stream, or it's free, and they see a show like tonight or last night, and they can actually hear it outside of people's, videos. And I love my friends who live stream, but the video quality is not always the best, but it's better than nothing. But if we can having a live stream platform, host or put these things on, even if they're on YouTube, whatever. But I think Volta is the best option. If they really get these things up, it'll promote, the shows will promote themselves, and people will want to go to see these in person. And last night was awesome to have the audio, but to have the audio in the video. So I do hope the band, listen, DMB, if you guys are watching, I will pay for people will pay for streams. Like some people are cheap on Sirius XM, but if you're giving people audio and video, we're watching like choppy antenna, like old school antenna, blurry, like the HBO channel was blurry on the screen because you didn't pay for it. That's what we're watching. We're literally taking time away from what we're doing to watch some of these songs in like the worst quality, streaming quality, because there's bad service. You give us a high definition or 4K live stream, and again, we're going to pay for that, and it'll promote people to go to more shows. Because once you show off, hey, have someone come, hey, look at this presentation. Oh, I got to get here. This is awesome. So hopefully the band will do that at some point. Next up, we want to get to posters. And in a week where we started off with Methane trying to charge $700 for 7 posters, which is outrageous. In a week that starts off with that madness, we have, to me, 3 posters that are not Methane that were good. The Jacksonville poster, not everyone liked it. It did not sell out. I thought it was okay. That was phase one. And then we get to Miles saying last night, a solid poster. It did sell out. And tonight we get Daniel Danger. And this poster was phenomenal. And I'm going to go ahead and put that up here. And again, in a week where Methane is trying to charge us $700 for 7 posters, and all they do is copy and paste and rotate stuff in and out. Yes, they have talent. Yes, they do put work in. Yes, in the past, in the early poster days when DMB started having posters in large quantities for shows, Methane was a huge part of that success. But none of their posters has a lot of research. They may try to make someone local, but they try to rotate in the moon, an airplane, a car, a couple. It's no one's gonna, like, it's not worth it most times. And I have a couple Methane posters that I do like, but their shooting percentage is low. Their batting average is low. For DMB, I can't speak on the stuff outside of DMB. And again, it's an art studio that has a following. But these posters for DMB are collecting dust. Juxtapose that with Daniel Danger, who puts so much time and effort into researching things and then coming up with the poster concept. Put that against Miles Sang, who comes out with an amazing, elaborate poster last night. But looking at this poster right here, I want to just take a look and read off what Daniel Danger said. Actually, what I'll do is let me go back, because I'll read it off on my phone. But this is what Daniel Danger said about this poster. And let's see. Because he always has a backstory or something he has. So he says, my sirens for the Dave Matthews Band tonight in West Palm Beach. If you got scuba gear, there's apparently like 1,000 sunken mermaid statues underwater off the coast. So I drew my own tableau of a ride or die battle ready Aqua Squad. APs and art print editions soon. And the poster itself has underwater these statues. You have a ambulance that's underwater, and you have a boat. There's different things on the boat. There's a number 22, and a lot of these things are Easter eggs, and they mean certain things. So this is, again, there's so much effort put into this. And then you have Methane trying to charge you $700 for these mid posters, subpar, even below mid posters. So that's my frustration with Methane. Again, they have a business, but there needs to be consequences, because you know what? If Methane loses business, they may by all means they may actually make posters that have as much detail. Now, yes, they also are a studio that is asked to do a bunch of posters for DMB, 7 of them. Daniel Danger may do 2 a year max. This year, he took a little bit of a break, and shout out to him. I was at his studio for an art exhibit. I think he may have moved again, but he's in Western Mass. He's a smaller studio. Obviously, Methane has more artists, and it's a larger thing, even though it's still a smaller business. It's not a corporation, but nonetheless, Daniel Danger is someone who has quality over quantity, but also is just in a smaller space, and, has a family, and, it's just him, really. So, but even so, he doesn't miss. And so I believe in allowing more artists like this even if they do one print or maybe two prints max a year, to get spots and take those away from Methane. And if Methane wants to prove themselves, hey, that's what competition does. That's what competition does. Oh, no, we're going to lose this contract. Let's actually put more thought into our posters. And there you have it, folks. You have better posters for everyone. There may be different styles for different folks, but you're not getting a poster that's not worth $700. I mean, you're not getting 7 posters that are not worth $700 for a subscription service. Next up is Jacksonville. There'll be 2 shows in Jacksonville now in 2019, and I believe there was in the mid 2000s another time they played at a kind of a arena. Now and they play at Daly's Place, which is on the grounds or on the campus where the Jacksonville Jaguars play. And it was a venue made by Mr. Khan, who owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. And it is a more intimate venue. It has a little bit of height on that upper level, but it's much more intimate than West Palm Beach's, iTHINK Amphitheatre. iTHINK Financial Amphitheatre, excuse me. So we'll move on to there. If you guys are going to those shows and want to be on, please let me know and we'll get you there. Another thing, again, just want to advertise again. I am looking to make a multicam of the Tampa show. And if you guys have West Palm Beach stuff, I'll see if we can try to highlight a song or two as well. But if you do have Tampa, videos, please let me know. The outro will be some video that Alan sent me in combined with tape or audio from my good friend Henry, who was at these shows as well in West Palm Beach. So you guys will be able to see that. Let me see if there's anything I missed, though, before we leave. Actually, let's go through some of the Twitter stuff. So we looked at the set list. I personally was disappointed with the first 2 songs. It really felt like a different band, but I understand somewhat why now, because they wanted to get they had these songs already in the set, but the last stop was going to be that key thing. But I was like, yo, this cold front definitely cooled down the show. Back-to-back overplayed songs from 2023. Right? Kick off the second set instead of JTR. It would have been great if they just pulled out JTR like they have in the past. Speaking of last stop, Kenny said, yeah, usually it's the last stop. There were some mid-Atlantic plays, and some of that was because in 2018, 2019, I think 2019, there were some last stops at Jones Beach had a rain. It kind of, they moved the show. They played a little bit of show, but they decided since they had an open day to finish the show the next day, and they played the last stop, but I think that was like a half stop. But a lot of them were towards the gorge, like a lot of those last stops. I was disappointed, but then when you see them actually do Cry, like the last stop and Cry Freedom, that's a great, like those are songs that are worth some of the other fillers. All right, what else happened? And this was really, I posted this. This was like, shout out to John Fanta from he does Fox. He's on Fox Sports for different basketball coverage and even now bowling. But this was my John Fanta like thought of the moment when something big happened. So I said the full last stop returns to America on Memorial Day weekend in Florida at the same venue where fans 2 years ago were heartbroken by a sudden postponement due to Dave getting COVID. Redemption after a rain delay. Maybe all Florida runs should be this early. I truly believe that. There are some people that like the July-August thing, but to me, going to Tampa this week and knowing how Florida is in May versus being in Florida in August or July, it is much worse in July, August. June as well is rough. But May gets hot, like it is still hot, but it's not the overnight, because these shows, the sun goes down and you get a little bit of a cool down. But like when it's in the when it's mid-July or August, it's just still hot. So that was another thing. Tyler had a cool stat here. Tonight's show in West Palm Beach, only the 5th show ever with Big, Dreaming Tree Crush, and Last Stop. And it is also 26 years to the day of the first time that we've gotten Pig, Dreaming Tree Crush, and Last Stop in the same show. So pretty cool stat there. We have 11 of 12 Crash songs that have been played this calendar year. I did point that out here. And hopefully they won't let us down on the one that's missing. Let You Down is the only song in 2024 that anything Dave Matthews Band, in the Dave Matthews Band universe, that has not been played on a live stage. So would be cool to see that. But it is crazy that between Europe and Vegas and these first 3 shows of the summer tour, we have 11 of 12 Crash songs. Many songs are not played each year from Crash. So at Alpine Dave, don't let us down. I'm just playing. No, I'm not really playing. I'm serious, Dave. But those are some things some observations I had from the show. We do get Sledgehammer cover. We got two covers. We're nearing Zac Brown band level, but they did not get there quite. 3 Walk Around the Moon songs come in. One thing I'll say is there is a contingent of fans, and I will have a video out based on the data I collected from you guys across various social media platforms about what you want to go away. But there are fans who want Snow Outside, Gaucho, Mercy, all that other stuff. Personally, I don't need Gaucho to come back, but if it does come back, I think it would be nice to just kind of revisit that and see if I like it better now. My first show had Gaucho, 5/25/12, and I don't really need it, but I'd rather have that than Can't Stop. I'd rather have that than some of the other newer stuff. Snow Outside is one that a lot of people want. Mercy, the Mercy that they had in Germany in 2019 was a whole different Mercy than I suffered through in the 2012-2013 era. And Mark Whitfield was put in a tough position to play on Mercy. I think it was not a good song choice for him to guest in on one of the shows I went to in 2013. It wasn't Mark, it was the song, because Mark is amazing at guitar. So it is what it is, but I'd rather see them look at that. I do not want If Only, and that's kind of the roulette of some of these recent albums. If they dive into the wrong songs, it can ruin momentum, in my opinion, of a show. So we shall see. What else? I had something else that I was just thinking about. Oh, Spaceman. Thank God Spaceman was cut. My opinion, I think the band is like something about Spaceman. We don't need Spaceman. Like, and I know my boy Mark, who can't be on right now, he wanted Alligator Pie again. I believe all of the Big Whiskey deep cuts need to get in the line behind Beach Ball, in my opinion, because Beach Ball is a great song. It also has a great version from Houston or Woodlands, where you have some great trumpet playing from Rashawn that is not the standard stuff we hear from him. It's, to me, in a better light. It highlights him better. And the fact that they are not playing Beach Ball like that, in my opinion, is wild. I think it's wild because it is just such a great representation, and you don't need a violin. You don't need a violin. And it's mind boggling that, like, and I know people want alligator. I don't want alligator pie. I mean, if I get it, I get it, but I'd rather have Beach Ball, which is a better song. I'd rather have Dive In, which to me is a better song, than alligator pie. And it's also that kind of that he's got the resonator guitar, and that's not what I want Dave playing. Like that's not what I go to see Dave Matthews Band for. I don't go to see alligator pie. I want to see something like Beach Ball. Again, my opinion. But I'm glad that, and Grace, although Buddy did his thing on Grace, probably a good song to cut if you have limited time. You want to fit in that Last Stop and the Cry Freedom. You want to have that Rapunzel be that special moment where you have the sandwich of a 2-set show. So they cut the right songs. There's no songs that they cut that I'm like, oh no. Has the original set list before the delay been shown? Yes, Kevin, I'll bring you back up to speed. I know some people are coming in, and I fully understand that. So this is the original set list. You do have Grace Is Gone cut. You do have Spaceman cut. Now, Cry Freedom was supposed to be after Die Trying. Cry Freedom goes right before Rapunzel. And the solo, obviously, Rapunzel was supposed to close out the encore, but that they never got to that. But this is the original set list: PMP Pig, Fool in the Rain, Dreaming Tree, 27 Only Thing, What Would You Say, Walk Around the Moon, Die Trying, Cry Freedom, World Ends, Spaceman, So Damn Lucky, Ocean, Crush, Sledge, Grace, Last Stop, Encore, Break, Encore, Solo, Rapunzel. There you go. If anyone did miss it, it also is on social media. On X, ConcertViz34, and some other people. But I get it. Some people are coming in late or coming in from other stuff. Appreciate the support. Don't forget to hit the like button there. But that is the set list, courtesy of Mark, who sent that to me. So, yeah, there you go. That's the original set. Love that they cut Spaceman. I cannot say that enough. But again, some people like that. Some people have all this stuff. They have shirts. I'm a spaceman trying to get laid, you know. And that's what makes this fan base so unique, is there's so many different angles of why people go to see the show. And I think that's what they were trying to do. But seriously, don't play Spaceman. Play Beach Ball instead. I accept you guys, but I don't. Just kidding. I'm about inclusion, except the songs I don't like. At least I'm honest. All right. Gonna close out. We got this taper audio and video from Alan of here on out from Tampa. Again, if you have videos from Tampa, let me know. Message me, hit me up. If you want to be on for the post-show stream in Duval, moving up the coast to Georgia South. I mean, they should just annex Jacksonville and put it as part of Florida. Like, I've been there. It's essentially, and I have family in Georgia, all throughout Georgia, and I've been to different parts of Georgia, Southwest Georgia, Atlanta. Jacksonville is essentially part of Georgia. It's not Florida. The only real difference is it has a nice beach, has some beaches there that are like Florida like. Other than that, it's part of Georgia. But we'll close out with here on out. Thank you guys for the support. Anniversary of my first show, 5/25/12, 12 years. Well, now it's the 26th, which is the anniversary of an awesome show, one of the highest viewed Copper Pot videos ever, which actually had Beach Ball. That show had Beach Ball. The first show after my first show that I skipped had Beach Ball. So yeah, I'm chasing that still. But it's your boy ConcertViz34. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out. Peace.
Thank you very, very much.
Date on that was wrong. It was 5, was it 20? 522 in Tampa.
What does the calling of my heart call to you? I chase you down. Is it okay if I call you mine from here on out? If I could ever stop, you are light as a butterfly, as heavy as a rock. Bottom and the top, is it okay if I call you mine from here on out? As if I could ever stop. Now I'm opened up, I'm strong, I'm wild, like a storm out the stars in my blood. And it's all because of you, my love. Is it okay if I call you mine from here on out? As if I could ever stop. When you laugh, it's like a light that fills me up. 'Cause you are my love, like when I fell into your eyes. I could not get out, and I could not get enough. So is it okay if I call you mine from here on out? As if I could ever stop. When I'm all used up, old and breaking apart, like a storm out the stars in my blood. It's all because of you, my love. Is it okay if I call you mine from here on out? As if I could ever stop. One should have known. I still need you so. I want you to know. I still need you so. Is it okay if I call you mine from here on out? As if I could ever stop.
Sorry about that, folks. You probably couldn't hear me, but I just wanted to dedicate this number 34 to everyone across this country that may be mourning the loss of a brother, a sister, a family member, a friend, someone that was close to them, a coworker that went out to fight to defend this country and never made it home. This weekend is not just about cookouts. This weekend is to remember those who gave the ultimate sacrifice for their country. So if you are going to be spending your Sunday or Monday at a gravestone, at a memorial, with a gathering of soldiers that were with your brother, your sister, whoever may have lost their life in battle, we're thinking of you. This can be a difficult weekend and a week for those who mourn the loss of those who have fought in various wars. I have been blessed enough to be able to spend time with family members who have served this country, and some of them serving in Vietnam, Korea, and other conflicts, did not come home with friends. And I know in recent conflicts, I have friends who have served in Afghanistan and Iraq, family friends who have led young soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan, and had to contact family to let them know their son was not coming home, their daughter was not coming home. So anyway, I know that was muted out initially, but I just wanted to send my thoughts, my prayers to those who are mourning loss in this weekend. This weekend's not about cookouts and jet skis, although those things are possible because of the people who gave their life for this country. So again, this number 34 is dedicated to those who have served our country and gave the ultimate sacrifice to defend this country and to fight for freedom. We're thinking of all you guys that are mourning loss during this Memorial Day weekend.